Seneca once illuminated our minds with the insight, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. This notion isn't just about finding joy in the now, it's about wielding the present as a tool to build respect, character, and inner strength. We are embarking on a journey to unearth these Stoic strategies. These are the unsung tactics that can elevate our conduct, shape our character, and bring us into alignment with the respect we seek from others, as well as the respect we bestow upon ourselves. So let us delve into the depths of Stoic wisdom together, uncovering the 7 psychological strategies that hold the key to a life of respect and virtue. Prepare to explore how the ancient can inform the present, and how the echoes of Stoic thought can resonate in our modern lives. Before we begin, I would appreciate if you liked the video so that you can help me to continue spreading the Stoic philosophy. If you are not subscribed, I recommend you to subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any video. Strategy number 1. Mastery over perception. The ancient Stoics understood that life's essence isn't shaped by what happens to us, but by the color of the glasses we choose to view those happenings through. This isn't about painting over the ugly parts of life with a cheerful hue. Rather, it's recognizing that every event is like a raw stone. We can either see it as a mere rock or the potential diamond it could become. Picture yourself giving a presentation at work. You've pored over the details, practiced your delivery, and yet, when the moment comes, the technology fails. The slides won't progress, the videos don't play, and there you stand before your colleagues and superiors, the air heavy with expectation. In this crucible, your perception is the alchemist's tool. Do you see this as a personal disaster, an embarrassment that will define your career? Or do you perceive it as a pivotal moment to showcase your ability to adapt and communicate under pressure? By choosing the latter, you take a breath, and perhaps you even share a lighthearted comment about the reliability of technology that draws a knowing chuckle from the room. Then, you proceed to deliver your presentation without the slides, engaging more directly, more humanly. You're not ignoring the mishap, you're transcending it. Afterwards, people remember how you handled the situation with grace and poise. They respect you not for your flawless presentation, but for your remarkable response to imperfection. This is mastery over perception in action. It's the transformative process that turns stumbling blocks into stepping stones. It's not about denying the negative, but about leveraging it as a catalyst for personal excellence. By applying this strategy in various facets of life, you craft a reputation not as a person who never faces challenges, but as one who stands unwavering in their midst. This doesn't go unnoticed. It's this unspoken confidence, this mastery, that naturally earns you respect. Embrace this principle, and you will become a beacon of resilience, admired and trusted not for the absence of problems in your life, but for the sheer tenacity and ingenuity with which you navigate them. This is the power of perception, a Stoic's tool, as vital today as it was in the marbled forums of ancient Greece. Strategy number 2. Embracing control and choice. In our journey through the Stoics' lens, we arrive at a crossroads of control and choice. The Stoic teacher Epictetus famously stated, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." These words aren't just a call to action, they're an invitation to freedom. To embrace control and choice is to recognize that while the world spins on its own axis, our reactions are ours to command. Let's unpack this with an example that resonates with many of us. You receive unexpected feedback from your manager that is less than complimentary. It's in this moment, this crucible of challenge, that the Stoic wisdom illuminates your path. You can't control the feedback, nor can you undo it. But within you lies the tremendous power to choose your response. The knee-jerk reaction is defensiveness, a retort, or internal turmoil. But Stoicism invites us to choose differently. Perhaps in that moment you decide to listen, truly listen. You allow each word to settle, not as an indictment of failure, but as a guidepost for growth. You ask clarifying questions, you seek to understand, and then you make a choice. A choice to use this feedback as the raw material from which to sculpt a better, stronger version of your professional self. This choice is noted by those around you. You're not just another employee, you become the embodiment of maturity and proactivity. This is what people respect, not a faultless record, but the fortitude to rise above faults and use them as the forge for betterment. When you take this principle into the broader strokes of life, It's transformative. You're in traffic and you're late. You can't control the red lights or the pace of the cars in front of you, but you can control the rising tide of frustration. So you choose. You select a podcast, an audiobook, or perhaps use the time to mentally rehearse your day ahead. You arrive not with a heart pounding from stress, but with a mind enriched or prepared. This is the power of choice. It's in these choices, the ones made quietly, without fanfare, that respect is born. People see a person who is not at the mercy of life's unpredictable winds, but one who sets their sails deliberately, who uses those winds to journey where they wish to go. This is not a skill one is born with. It is developed, honed with each trial, and it's this skill that garners true respect. So when life throws its inevitable curveballs, remember Epictetus's words. Remember that control and choice are your inherent stoic powers. They are the quiet force that can weather any storm, not by force, but by the sheer elegance of intention and will. This is what it means to live as a Stoic, and it is this living that naturally commands the respect of those who witness it. Strategy number 3, integrity in action. Integrity in action is the lifeblood of Stoicism, giving vitality to the philosophy's core tenet that virtue alone suffices for happiness. This Stoic virtue is not an abstract ideal, but a robust living force that shapes every aspect of a Stoic's life. It is in the mundane choices and the extraordinary decisions where integrity in action emerges as the hallmark of a life lived in accordance with reason and virtue. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it, taught Epictetus, a directive that calls for a manifestation of one's values in the fullest sense, not just in thought but in every act and reaction. Within the intricacies of day-to-day interactions, integrity in action manifests itself in countless ways. In the world of business, it might be seen in the refusal to partake in petty office politics or to engage in gossip. It's the employee who, when facing a conflict of interest, discloses it, despite the potential for personal loss. It's the manager who gives credit where credit is due, even when they could easily accept praise for subordinates' work. In such moments, the Stoics' actions are guided by an internal compass calibrated to integrity. They are mindful that every decision is a testament to character, and every action a chapter in their life story, written for an audience of one, their own self. As Marcus Aurelius mused in his Meditations, the true worth of a person is to be found in their actions and not in the realm of external things. Living with integrity means that a Stoic must often swim against the current of popular opinion or short-term gain. It involves making choices that align with virtue, even when these choices are uncomfortable or bring them into solitude or criticism. Stoics recognize that integrity often requires sacrifice, and they are willing to bear these costs not for some external reward, but because they value their self-respect above all else. Moreover, integrity in action is about resilience in the face of adversity. It's about maintaining a moral stance even when the world seems to conspire against it. In situations where dishonesty seems to flourish and shortcuts appear to lead to success, the Stoic stands firm. They understand, as Seneca wrote, that a person's worth is measured by the worth of what they value. And what is the reward for such unwavering commitment to integrity? It is respect, the kind that is earned, not demanded, felt, not feigned. This respect is a reflection of the true nature of one's character, unshakable and unquestioned. For in a society often fixated on the end justifying the means, the Stoics' means are their end. Integrity is both the path and the destination. Thus, integrity in action is not just a Stoic principle to be discussed, it is a way of being to be lived. It transcends the pages of ancient texts and becomes the script by which a Stoic structures their life. It is ultimately the purest form of respect one can ever hope to achieve, the respect that comes from a life lived in unwavering accord with one's deepest convictions, principles, and Stoic virtues. Strategy number 4. Cultivating empathy. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another, is not immediately recognizable as a Stoic virtue. Yet the Stoics deeply understood the value of empathy as a means of connecting with the human community and practicing the virtue of justice. Kindness is mankind's greatest delight, said the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, highlighting that the capacity to empathize is not just a passive feeling, but an active engagement in the well-being of others. Empathy in Stoicism is the recognition that all humans are fallible, struggling, and capable of error, yet deserving of understanding and compassion. This cultivation of empathy does not imply emotional indulgence, but a rational acknowledgement of the commonalities that bind us in the human experience. It's found in the patience we show to a new colleague struggling to learn the ropes, or in the understanding we extend to a friend overwhelmed by grief. Consider the leader who takes the time to understand the unique challenges faced by each team member. This leader is not merely managing but leading with empathy, demonstrating an awareness that each person's experience contributes to the fabric of the whole. Through empathy, this leader can navigate the team's dynamic, align their strengths, and address their challenges, thus steering the ship with a keen eye on the horizon and a compassionate hand on the helm. Cultivating empathy also involves a more profound engagement with the community. It's the entrepreneur who designs solutions not just for profit, but to address societal needs, understanding that their true value lies in the benefit they bring to others. It is the citizen who listens with an open mind to the viewpoints of others, recognizing that beneath differing opinions and beliefs lie common fears and hopes. Stoicism teaches that empathy should be guided by wisdom. It is not about taking on the emotional burdens of others, but about offering the right measure of support and understanding to foster growth and resilience. Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness, said Seneca. It is a reminder that empathy is a resource available to us at all times, an opportunity that presents itself in every interaction. By practicing empathy, Stoics forge deeper connections and contribute to a society based on mutual respect and understanding. Empathy can bridge divides, heal wounds, and build trust. It's a testament to the recognition that while we may travel our paths, we share the same road, under the same stars, and are made of the same stardust. Thus, cultivating empathy is to recognize the reflections of ourselves in others and act upon this recognition with kindness and justice. It's about expanding our circle of concern and understanding that each act of empathy sows seeds for a more compassionate and harmonious world. As we practice empathy, we not only elevate others but also elevate ourselves, aligning our actions with the Stoic ideal that the good of the individual and the good of the community are inextricably linked. Strategy number 5. The elegance of simplicity. The elegance of simplicity, a core concept in Stoicism, extols the virtue of living a life unburdened by superfluous excess and unswayed by the siren calls of consumerism. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, Epictetus advised. This counsel is not a mandate for austerity, but an invitation to find richness in the understated and fulfillment in the essentials. In the embrace of simplicity, there is a rejection of the clutter that so often dominates our physical spaces and mental landscapes. It's the choice to value quality over quantity, to seek experiences that enrich the soul rather than possessions that fill the home. Simplicity finds expression in the minimalist's approach to life, where every object is chosen with intention and every activity is imbued with meaning. Imagine applying this principle to daily living. It could mean decluttering your workspace, creating an environment where focus flourishes. In personal finance, it may manifest as a budget that prioritizes experiences and well-being over material accumulation. In relationships, the elegance of simplicity encourages us to invest in deeper connections with fewer people, rather than spreading ourselves thin over many surface-level engagements. The Stoic finds beauty in simplicity, not only in their surroundings, but also in their actions and thoughts. It's a conscious decision to streamline life's complexities, to cut through the noise, and to focus on what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius once mused, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This insight calls for an internal simplification, a purification of desires, and an anchoring of contentment in self-sufficiency and reasoned choice. Simplicity in Stoicism is also a tool for resilience. In the face of life's inevitable upheavals, the individual who has cultivated a simple, straightforward, and unpretentious life is better poised to adapt. They carry their tranquility within, unshaken by external shifts, because their happiness is not tied to the impermanent and the external, but to the stable and the internal. To live simply is to strip away the non-essential so that the essential may speak. It is to practice restraint in a world of excess and to find peace in an age of distraction. The elegance of simplicity is the art of paring down to the core of what brings joy, clarity, and purpose. It is the Stoics' realization that in the tapestry of life, The most impactful threads are often those woven with the simplest patterns. In conclusion, the elegance of simplicity is more than an aesthetic choice. It's a profound philosophical commitment that offers freedom, clarity, and a return to the fundamentals of human flourishing. By cultivating simplicity, we not only streamline our external lives but align our inner worlds with Stoic wisdom, where the greatest treasures are those found within the depths of a contented heart. Strategy number 6. The serenity of acceptance. The serenity of acceptance is a Stoic bastion against the tumult of life's uncontrollable elements. It is the acknowledgement of our limited power to change external circumstances, paired with the recognition of our absolute power to accept them. Accept the things to which fate binds you, Marcus Aurelius wrote, conveying that peace comes not from control, but from conceding control where it cannot be exerted. This acceptance is far from resignation. It is an active, empowered response to the challenges that fate presents. When a storm descends, the Stoic does not lament the rain but instead reflects on the futility of such lamentations. They understand that the storm, like all external events, is indifferent to our desires and our discomforts. It is through acceptance that one finds serenity, not by changing the storm's nature, but by sheltering the inner self from its fury. In real-world scenarios, this serene acceptance can be transformative. It's the calm demeanor of the doctor who, after doing all they can for a patient, must wait for the outcome. It's the composed acceptance of the athlete who, after a defeat, recognizes that some factors, the weather, the opponent's unexpected performance, were beyond their control. These individuals display a mastery of acceptance that does not undermine their efforts but reinforces their equanimity. They show us that while striving for excellence is within our domain, the outcome often is not. He who is brave is free, Seneca tells us. The brave individual in the Stoic sense is one who accepts the bounds of fate bravely, freeing themselves from the anguish of resisting the immutable. Acceptance also cultivates resilience. It's the strength to face loss, to endure pain, and to confront adversity, not with bitter resignation, but with the understanding that these experiences are part of the human condition. The Stoic uses acceptance as a tool to maintain internal harmony, even as the external world may be in disarray. They find serenity not in ideal circumstances, but in their response to the actual circumstances they encounter. The serenity of acceptance is, therefore, a reflection of wisdom and strength. It does not mean that one does not work to improve their situation, but that they do so with the understanding that not all things are within their power to change. This harmonious balance between action and acceptance is the essence of Stoic tranquility. To embrace acceptance is to walk through life with a steady heart and a clear mind, understanding that while we cannot command the winds of fate, we can adjust our sails. It is to perceive the world with clarity, free from the distortions of frustration and disappointment. By cultivating the serenity of acceptance, we anchor ourselves in the present, undisturbed by the ripples of the uncontrollable, and master the only domain wholly ours to command, our inner selves. Strategy number 7. Living virtuously. Living virtuously is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, the culmination of its teachings and the axis around which the Stoic life rotates. Virtue for the Stoics is not a lofty ideal but a practical guide to living well. It is the embodiment of the 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. As Seneca elegantly put it, virtue is nothing else than right reason. To live virtuously is to engage with life's complexities with a moral compass that consistently points towards the good. It means making decisions not based on what is expedient or pleasurable, but on what is right. Wisdom dictates that we choose the just path over the easy one. Courage allows us to walk it despite our fears, and temperance enables us to tread with moderation and self-control. The virtuous life manifests in countless everyday choices. It's found in the honesty of the business person who conducts their dealings transparently, in the courage of the whistleblower who exposes wrongdoing at personal risk, and in the justice of the community leader who advocates for the marginalized. It's in the temperance of individuals who moderate their appetites and desires, recognizing that self-discipline is the bedrock of freedom. Stoicism reminds us that living virtuously is an inward journey as much as an outward expression. To live happily is an inward power of the soul, Marcus Aurelius proclaimed, indicating that virtue is intertwined with our inner tranquility and happiness. It requires a continuous effort to align our actions with our principles, regardless of external rewards or recognition. Living virtuously also means recognizing our interconnectedness with others and the world. It's understanding that our choices and actions ripple outwards and impact the greater whole. Justice, in the Stoic sense, extends beyond individual interactions to a broader commitment to the welfare of society. It's the recognition that our own good is bound up with the good of others. In the practice of virtue, Stoics find true wealth. For what is more valuable than a life well lived? What is more enduring than the respect earned through integrity? Virtue is its own reward, providing a deep sense of satisfaction that outlasts the fleeting pleasures pursued by those who do not heed its call. To conclude, living virtuously is the intentional practice of aligning every thought, word, and deed with the highest standards of moral excellence. It is a dynamic and active pursuit that challenges us to rise above base instincts and fleeting impulses, and to act in accordance with the noblest aspects of our character. In this pursuit, we find not just the respect of others, but a profound self-respect that no external circumstance can diminish. As we commit to this path, we become beacons of stability and integrity in an ever-changing world, and in doing so, we leave a legacy that time itself will honor. As we reach the end of our discourse on the powerful psychological strategies derived from Stoicism, I urge you to pause and reflect. These are not just concepts to understand, but principles to live by. Ask yourself, which of these strategies could be a catalyst for change in your life? How might adopting a Stoic approach steer you towards greater self-respect and the esteem of others? I encourage you to take these ancient ideas and apply them to the modern complexities of your daily life. See where they fit, and where you may need to adjust your sails to navigate life's vast ocean. Please, feel free to share your intentions or any moments of Stoic clarity you've experienced in the comments below. Your journey is unique, and your narrative could be the very one that inspires or enlightens another. Thank you sincerely for spending your time with us. Reflect on what you've learned, and consider how you might implement these strategies in your path forward. Farewell for now, and may the wisdom of Stoicism guide you to a life of virtue and dignity.